I'm Matthew Stahl. Welcome to the 5th episode of The Propaganda Review, where I analyze modern propaganda material and try to get to the truth of the story. In this episode, I'll discuss the massive multi-million-dollar industry of VPNs and how they end up serving the corporate surveillance network they claim to fight against. If you frequently watch YouTube, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that VPNs are very misleading about what their products actually do. If you aren't familiar, I'd recommend Tom Scott's video on VPNs. Link is in the description. Essentially, VPNs are preying on people who are mostly ignorant about cybersecurity and privacy, but are looking for the one-click solution to their worries about being tracked. The reality is that VPNs only mask your IP and encrypt your traffic from the home network to the VPN server. That's great and all, but it's only one small piece of a larger internet security puzzle. VPNs won't make you use better passwords or two-factor authentication, and they won't provide any protection from malware. All of these and more security-enhancing options are free and available for people to use, but many choose not to. Either they find it too difficult or haven't been educated about their existence. For them, VPNs grant a false sense of security. From the privacy standpoint, IP addresses are only one factor of many that websites and third-party trackers use to track you online. Sure, you've eliminated one of the ways that they can identify you, but they can still use your name, email address, GPS location, cookies, and through tracking images, they can get specific information about your device and display. Tracking is a matter of cross-referencing information and building a profile about you. So removing just one detail in your profile doesn't make them lose the track on you. Even if you've successfully hidden your location using a VPN, and you don't allow any proprietary services to use your GPS location, well, you may still buy packages from Amazon in which you'll input your address. You might get email notifications about your deliveries through your Gmail account, in which case now Google knows not only where you live, but also possibly what you're buying. In fact, email clients can often gather the most information about you, since they are usually required to sign up for accounts for any service. Honestly, privacy-focused email clients have more of a right to say that they're the one-click solution to privacy than VPNs do. One of the worst parts of all of this is that if you want your data to stay private, you must not let your guard down, ever. Not at all. Companies will keep these profiles on you forever, so even though you may be masking your IP now, they still know what it was before you got your VPN. And if you ever turn off your VPN, then your data is exposed again. Here's a high-profile example. Founder of Silk Road, the infamous drug trading platform on the dark web, was eventually located and caught, not because his security tools were not adequate. No, it was because of one small mistake. He used his Surface Web Gmail account to advertise some of his hidden services on the dark web. Thus, he formed a connection between his Surface Web and dark web identities. Everything that gets uploaded to the web will stay there forever. So one small mistake can mean the end for your secure journey through the internet. At a certain point, however, we all have to realize that in the internet's current state, you have to attain a balance between usability and privacy. Just as if you choose to be the most private by not using the internet at all, you are giving up valuable tools and opportunities by securing your data. It's almost like it's a form of social contract where we compromise by giving up freedoms in exchange for the benefits of living in a society. This is where the false sense of security that VPN companies give fits in. VPN users may not realize that they are making a compromise by using certain online services. They may think that their VPN will protect them from the downsides of the contract. Now back to social contracts. Although when we are born, we aren't given the decision of whether or not to sign the social contract. In a democratic government, the electorate gets to decide, perhaps indirectly, the terms of the contract. Them, or the representatives that they elect, decide what freedoms are given up, and in exchange what securities and services are granted. However, when a starkly undemocratic company decides to update their privacy policy, which outlines how much more data they'll take from you this year, the users get absolutely no say in the matter. Sure, you could just not accept the privacy policy, but then you'd have to not use the product. Well, if that product is a word processor, which you need to make a resume to apply for a job in order to survive, well, then you might not have much of a choice. This is especially troubling when both Microsoft and Google, companies which own the two most popular word processors by far, are very open about how much data they collect from you. Now, let's walk through the chain of events. Sign away your data, or else you don't get access to Word, meaning you can't make your resume, meaning you can't get a job, meaning you can't get food, and you die. Technocratic capitalism is essentially sign away your data or you die. Now, this is all very doom and gloom, but depending on your situation, there may be an alternative service which you can use which won't steal your data. There might be ones that you can verify that by nature of them being open source. In fact, this very script was written in a Word alternative, LibreOffice Writer. Right now I'm recording my voice with Audacity. Both of these applications are open source. No accounts, no privacy policies, no tracking. So don't wait for governments to get around to making privacy a right. See if in your situation you may be able to not sign your data away.